Welcome to JIL Software Solutions Business Channel. My name is Selena Burke, and the topic for today is what indicator can you use to help you in your career path? Now, before I start, I must mention that I am an advocate of entrepreneurship. So, what does that mean? My topics and suggestions are always going to be tailored toward self employment, running your own business. I'm not condemning employment at all. Employment is a good source of income, and it's an opportunity for you to gain a skill set that you can use as a business owner, and it's also a platform for you to build professional relationship, hopefully with people that's going to be doing business with you in the future. So had to get that disclaimer out there. So what is the key indicator to help you in your path? It's real simple. It's the thing that you would do regardless if you get paid for. Now, some people have had their aha moment right now, and they're like, oh, it's my passion. Okay, I know what that is. And now you just need to know what the next step is. And then you have some people that's looking at the screen like, what does that mean? And for you people, my suggestion would be to talk to your spouse, talk to your friend, family member who knows you well. But, and this is important, someone that's going to be brutally honest with you. And the reason why I say that is because you may have went off to college or went to some training program to learn a trade and have been doing it for 5, 10 years. And people may be reluctant to tell you the truth because you spent all this time in this particular industry, and they may not just say you did all that and that's not your passion, that's not what you do well, that's not what you like doing, you're not happy doing that. You need somebody to tell you that. You need somebody that's going to be honest with you and tell you the truth. And once you have that person and they tell you that, I need you to self-reflect. I need you to think about the things that you've done up to that point. Think about how many times, whatever it is, if they're saying, oh, I think you may be a cook, think about it. At every gathering, are you cooking? Are you enjoying cooking? When you cook, when somebody else cooks, do you feel a certain type of way? Are you critiquing the food every time you go to somewhere? Go someplace. Are you buying the latest gadgets and you're interested in the cooking shows? There are different things that you can kind of look at and you can tell like that's my passion. I'm always doing it. And when I do it, I feel good about it, right? And you don't have to pay me. Oh, I do it this time. Even though you know you need to get paid so that you can pay the bills, but how many times have you said, "Oh, don't worry about it. Pay me later." And if they don't pay you, no big deal, right? So, think about that thing. And I'm going to use me as a prime example. When I was in elementary school, I went to a career webinar where they taught you or they were teaching about different topics or different careers. And there was a lady that had got my interest because she was talking about money. And she was an attorney and she was discussing how much money she made. And I was attracted by that. And a lot of us are, right? Because we need money to eat and buy clothes and cars and whatever the things, the material things that we need or the necessity things that we need to survive, we need to have money. And so she said a dollar amount that was very attractive to me. And at that point, I decided I'm going to be an attorney. Besides the fact that I love to debate. So, and I love to solve problems. And so, oh, has to be, right? I love to solve problems and you can make a lot of money doing this. And so that's the path that I had planned on going. And so I went to this vocational high school that was designed for children or students to go two pathways. Either you were going to graduate and you're going to go off into corporate America, or you were going to graduate and you're going to go off to college. Well, I had decided that I'm going to be a lawyer, and they had a pre-law program, and I'm going to register for that. Here's the problem. At the time, I was a minor, and my father, for whatever reason, had decided that I am going to be a computer programmer. And he's the parent, right? So that's what he registered me for. And so in high school, I learned how to program in COBOL. And so for you IT people, yes, COBOL. I graduated second of my class with experience and knowledge of having to program in COBOL. And it came easy. I mean, you give instructions to a computer: do X, do Y, do Z. How complicated was that? For me, it was so natural. It was so simple. So that's easy stuff. I wanted to be a lawyer. And so I graduated and went off to college. But now I'm a young adult, right? And so I'm in control. I'm able to register and declare my own major. My father didn't go with me for registration. No, 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 no. I am going to be a lawyer. So I registered for criminal justice. I was going to be a defense attorney. I was set, ready to go. Towards my junior year, I ended up getting a job at a law firm. I wanted to be a lawyer, and I'm one of them people that I'm determined. If I know what I want, I am going to do what I need to do to get to that point. And so here I am working at a law firm. I'm all excited in my dress up clothes, about to get ready to graduate with a BA in criminal justice. I'm going off to law school after that because I'm determined, right? Now, I'm compliant with my father. I'm a daddy's girl. So I had a minor in computer programming, but law was the thing that I was doing because I was chasing the money. I'm going to get this money. And here I am at this law firm, and I'm like typing 95 words per minute. My accuracy is not yet at 100. And so they're giving me, like, the entry level stuff. I'm typing in, it was an insurance company, and I was in their law firm, and they did workers' comp. And as they would get these clients, I would have to type up the letter, entry letter, here's your case number, basic information. And I'm typing letter one, print on, second letter. By the third time, I'm like, this is not right. Passion is popping out. There's a problem that you're typing in the same information over and over and over. It just didn't make sense to me. But see, I want to be a lawyer, so I'm like, yeah, as a problem, I'm gonna solve it. But that's my passion. See, passion shows up when you sleep. And what I decided to do was create an application using Microsoft Access as the database, Microsoft Word for the document, and I merged it together, which is called mail merge for those people who do not know. And I typed all that information, pressed the button, it printed. Not only did it print all the letters with the information, that same letter, it also printed the envelopes. So here I'm taking 25, 50 intakes that that the secretary will get daily, and I'm doing this here in less than 30 minutes. And so this prompted my manager to say, hey, how you doing this stuff so fast and with accuracy? You're typing these letters up with accuracy. And I explained to her what I had done, and she went and she got her manager, and her manager came, and they looked, and they walked off, and no one's saying anything. Day one, day two, I'm not for sure how many days passed by. And then I get this email from the IT manager wanting to see this application that I created. So I go over to this department and I show him, and he's impressed. And he offered me a job. But see, I love math, right? So X greater than L, X wins, right? And so he offered me enough money where I was willing to go over to this department for the money. I knew computers. This came easy. That was my natural skill. I was passionate about it. I can do it. I was designing websites at this point for people without being paid because I enjoyed it. You need a website? Oh, I'll do it. You need this application? Oh, I'll design it. You have this problem? Why don't you try this? These are things that I was doing without getting paid for it. It came naturally. I was solving problems, but I kept relating that to me being an attorney, right? This is what attorneys do. You give them a problem and they solve it. And my passion was showing up. And see, when you follow your passion, the money will follow you. And I was so glad that I was I was really chasing the money, but that got me into this department where, again, I'm doing desktop support. It's not programming. It's something that I wasn't aware of. I'm learning hard drives and, dealing with user troubleshooting things. And this is something I hadn't been taught, and I was learning it. But see, that's where employment comes in play where you're saying, this is the skill set that I need to learn so that I can be a good business owner. And so I'm doing this here. I'm enjoying it. It's coming natural. But here's a problem. I'm graduating with a BA in criminal justice. And now it's time for me to apply to go to law school. But for some reason, my passion it's bubbling inside of me. And I was able to do a self-reflection and realize that this here is what I really like doing. I enjoy doing it. It comes easy to me. This is my passion. And so I went off and I went to college, but now I went to pursue a master's in computer science. I'm following my passion now, and the money is following it. So, in order to get to that point, I had to self reflect because my father had already told me, but I wasn't listening to dad. But my inner self, I was able to reflect and see that this is the thing that I'm constantly finding myself doing. Here I am at a law firm, working in a law firm, loving it, but I'm loving it because I'm designing an application. I'm working with computers. And so I'm still doing that thing. They didn't pay me for I was an employee, so they was paying me for my hours, but they didn't pay for that application. That's something that I did because I saw that there was a problem. And so the takeaway from this forum is that I want you to self-reflect. I want you to think about the thing that you do regardless if you get paid for it. I want you to figure out what's your passion. Once you've done that, now you're going to join the group of people that already had the aha moment that said, oh, it's my passion. And so now you need to figure out what's the next step. But first, you have to do a self-reflection. Just because you went to school to do a certain thing, just because you've been in that company for 18 years or whatever the case may be, does not mean that that's the thing that you should do. And for you millennials who are had graduated from college and now you're like, oh my God, I got the degree because my mother told me that I got to go to school and I graduated, and now what? You need to decide on how to figure out what that passion is. Think about it, and if once you figure that out, now you need to there are steps that you can take to get to that point. But the first step is determining or figuring out what that is. And for me, my aha moment came after 4 years of undergrad school. And so I don't consider it as time wasted. It's still experience that I can use now as a business owner of my own software solution company, JIL Software Solutions. I am able to still use that information. However, being able to follow my passion has led me to entrepreneurship. And that's the goal. The goal is to do the thing that I enjoy doing, that I love doing. And when I'm spending 1 hour, 4 hours, 8 hours, however many hours in my day, when I'm working on a Saturday and a Sunday night, I am not feeling bad about it at all. I am happy because I'm doing what I love. And so when people, you're always working. Well, what I do, I don't consider work. This is what I love doing. And I want you to get to that place. I want you to self-reflect. I want you to think about, or if you can't, you thought about it and you ram your head against the wall so much you just cannot figure out what that is. I want you to seek the advice of people that know you, because that's important. Because sometimes when you go off to career counselors, and they can help you, with certain techniques on how to determine. And there are some legit AI programs that can give you a several list of questions to kind of evaluate how you respond. But the best person to give you that is that person that knows you, that sees you, that watches you, that see how excited you get. I have seen this person who I think they should open up a restaurant. They love cooking. They get passionate about it. Come 4th of July, they done planned it and they done prepared and they get all these utensils and they love doing it. So when you hear people telling you you're good at that, and you're like, oh, that's just, nobody's going to pay me for that, you'll be surprised. There are so many companies that lose money because they did not finish a project. That could be IT projects, that could be construction projects. You find a company, big company, they have some type of project planning. And you're like, well, I don't have project planning experience. But yet, every time somebody has a party, you're planning it. You're contacting the bakery, you're contacting the balloon store, you're contacting vendors, or what they're called. You're negotiating prices. And so that is what a project planner is. You're making sure that this is the date of the event, you're there on time, you have got it set up, everything that needed for that event is there. Sounds like you should be having your own project planning consulting firm. So I want you to stop thinking that people want pay you for your passion. I need you to realize that that thing that you offer, there's a price tag to that. And it's not always about the money, but you need money to eat, right? So you can't, eliminate that. But as long as you find your passion, you're going to put your heart in it and the money will follow. So hopefully I said something today that would help you in your journey. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment below. We're going to have another topic discussing what do you do next. So please come back to the JIL Software Solution Business channel. I'm Selena Burke, and thank you for joining me.